Well, our program, South Dakota Youth Hunting Adventures, had a very interesting start. It was over a cup of coffee with my neighbor on the Two Rivers Ranch, and we were talking about children. We were talking about children's lives today and how they're involved in the computers and Xboxes and don't get outdoors. And from that conversation, he said, "Jim, we ought to start a program to get some kids outdoors." I came back to town and said, "This is a possibility." And I remember the first guy I met with was the lands manager for Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, because I said if I'm going to recruit some help, I got to get it from the conservation organizations. Larry was very enthusiastic about it from Rocky Mountain Elk, and from his enthusiasm I said, boy, maybe this is a good idea. So he and I started out bringing together people from Rocky Mountain Elk, National Wild Turkey Federation, Safari Club International, Black Hills Sportsmen, South Dakota Bow Hunters, Pheasants Forever, people who have been actively involved in conservation. And everybody thought it was a great idea that we could get some kids and pull this together. The mechanics of it were a little more challenging, but I happened to be on the Big Brothers board, Big Brothers, Big Sisters of the Black Hills at the time, and knowing they mentored a lot of youth. And we started thinking about this being a youth mentor type hunt.
In 2008, Jim Scull approached Big Brothers, Big Sisters to share with them about his idea for a youth hunting program. Given Big Brothers Big Sisters track record of matching adults with youth, he thought that would be the best way to do it.
And so from that humble beginning, we started our planning. And from the very beginning, what we wanted to do is we wanted to get kids outdoors hunting that otherwise would not have the opportunity without our support. And so that's what our mission statement became, that we were going to get kids outdoors that otherwise didn't have an opportunity to do that.
In the very beginning with South Dakota Youth Hunting Adventures, Jim Scull contacted me and told me of an idea he and a landowner, Pat Trask, had about taking some kids hunting. That was an idea that I've heard before, and Game and Fish has heard that quite often, but this one had a little different spin to it, in that the idea here was that they would pair up a young hunter with an experienced mentor, an older hunter, and they would take them on a youth deer hunt to start with, and maybe expand from there. This idea was different over the fact that it was pairing up an individual mentor with a young person, rather than a one-day youth hunt that we've seen so many of those of. So I was interested right away. I saw the potential here for educating some youth in the outdoors, getting them some experience hunting. So using my role as regional supervisor, I tried to find all the ways I could to help get this project off the ground. That led to my being involved in on the board of directors to start this program off, and helping with the hunt safe programs. These kids were young hunters, 12 years old was where we really started them, so they hadn't been through hunt safe class. So we held special classes just for the kids in the program. And then I assisted with their obtaining the licenses. They still had to apply, but I helped them fill those forms out, taught them how that was done and the licensing process and so forth, and got them started.
Big Brothers Big Sisters interviews mentor applicants just to learn more about them, see what their interests are, their areas of expertise. We do thorough background checks, we do reference checks, and we match them with youth that have similar interests, and just to make sure that the match is the best possible match for each one.
I think the first year we started with a little over 40 kids, and now 9 years later we're well into the program, and it's been very successful. Every year it's grown, and this year we're over 70 kids in our program and 80 adult mentors willing to take these kids out. So it's been a terrific success, just a wonderful program that's served and helped. We have great support from our South Dakota Game Fish and Parks, because they see it also as a potential future hunters, which I'm sure we'll have some of them kids that'll go on and hunt.
The program quickly expanded though from just youth deer. The mentors shouldered that responsibility and decided that they had fun with the kids on a deer hunt, so they wanted to take them on some other outings. So we expanded right away to turkey hunting in the spring, and several of our kids got involved with some turkey hunts. And it really just kind of took off from there. Whatever the youth wanted to hunt, if the mentor was knowledgeable or willing to take them on that type of a hunt, we let them go. We encouraged it.
To share just a little bit about the experience these kids go through when they come into our program is most of them, this was the first time they've ever held or discharged a firearm. And so the first thing we do is actively promote safety. We require them to go through the Game Fish and Parks Hunter Safety Course and complete this satisfactorily. And then the next thing we want them to do is understand property rights and the fact that these ranchers and access is very important. So we get them out to the ranches. We ask that they ask permission personally of each rancher they hunt on, and talk to the rancher some and learn about what the rancher wants from the hunter on his place, such as closing gates, picking up trash, helping out if possible, maybe with a little fence fixing or something around the house that needs attention. So they're giving back to the rancher for what he's, giving them. And then we're real solid about them having to write a thank you note to this rancher, giving thanks for that experience that they got to enjoy out there.
You see kids grow up into responsible adults. You see them smiling just with the experiences that they've had. And when I ask the kids about what their favorite thing or best memory is with their mentor, it's usually their first successful hunt, and they're so proud.
Experience, oftentimes they'll tell you, mentor, this is the best day of my life, which really strikes your heart. And it also takes the mentors back. All of us have shot our first deer and been on our first hunt. So we relive those moments with these kids, because sometimes we forget that special moment when we got to shoot our first deer or be in the outdoors with the father or an uncle or a grandpa and see that. And we see that again in these kids. It just warms your heart to see how excited and vibrant they are when they get in this environment of the outdoors. The outdoors is simply good for kids. We know that.
It was a wonderful experience. I've reached a point in my hunting career, I guess, that it doesn't really matter to me if I harvest an animal anymore, but I get a lot of joy and excitement out of taking these young kids. So that just kept me involved personally. I continue to try to find additional mentors and help the program expand.
Never believed 9 years later we'd be sitting here saying the program continues to grow and prosper and thrive, and we're doing really good things for kids and really good things for the outdoors all across America. There's no program like it that I'm aware of. It's a very unique program, and we're really pleased to have pulled it together.